Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now I was kind of thinking, how can I make an original intro? And then I thought, what if I say the same thing that I do every single time? So anyway, I was kind of thinking, what could I possibly make a video about? Because it is typically what I ponder. And I think I've said this before, but like whenever I have video ideas, they always come in like large amounts. Like if I think of a video idea, I'll think of like 8 of them and then I'll do all 8 of them. And then I'll be like deprived of videos for like a few days, and then it'll come right back to me and I'll have like 10 more ideas to make again. And that's just kind of how I am. I'm not really sure why that happens. I think it's just because like I get focused. I'm like, all right, I know I have these ideas and I just don't think about, okay, maybe I should like make something, like also continue thinking of ideas even when I already have ideas. I don't really do that, and I feel like that's probably why. But anyway, so I was kind of thinking, what could I possibly make a video about? And I realized, a lot of people, these YouTubers, right, they talk about like a lot of good stories and a lot of cool things come out of jobs, like like working environments. And then I was thinking to myself, well, I've only worked a job like once. So anyway, so I'm going to be telling you guys my experience of being employed. It's well, it wasn't a great experience, and I feel like it's just because I'm like, you have to remember, I was actually pretty young doing this. This was about like 2 years ago. So yeah, you can't get too mad at me for making the decisions I made. But anyway, so I was at this I got a job like at this restaurant, right? And they got me to be the host, which if you know what the host is, like, or if you probably know what the host, if you don't know what the host is like, they're the ones who are at the front who seat everyone, and there's a lot of strategy that go down to it, surprisingly. I'll kind of get into it, but anyway, pretty much I did like a few days of training. So like what I would do is I would go in there and it'd be somebody already working there, and she kind of like tell me how to do it, and I'd be like, and like one thing I already didn't like about it is like the map of like the restaurant was flipped. So like the tables that you were seeing from your like the place that I was sitting from, like where you're seeing it, and like the place that it was on the map was like the opposite side. So like the closest one to me on the map was the farthest back, and that confused the fuck out of me. I was just like, I still have not wrapped my head around that map, right? Like that shit confused the hell out of me. So I was like, well, all right, this is going great so far. And so I was like, all right, sure, map, I can probably get the hang of it. Maybe I can. So I think what I did was like I looked at like one seat that I knew where it was on the map, and then used that to compare and like use relative. But it did take a long time, and and so getting into it, part of like the job is that you have to like seat certain people. You have to go in order, and you have to seat many people in the waiter's zone, so then they can like serve them, and everyone pretty much has an equal amount, right? Here's the thing though, I'm pretty sure like I didn't know how the map worked. Like I was really confused. I only worked one day by myself, so I was like only by myself for one day. And something you also have to know about being the host, you have to like say hi to everyone who walks in. And I'm not really a saying hi kind of guy. I'm actually like extremely socially awkward, so I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it, but like I still think I would suck at doing that. Like if I had to like say hi to everyone at the restaurant, like, hey, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Like, oh my god, I would die, right? And I did. I hated it. I hated doing that. It was like one of my least favorite parts. Like when people would walk up to the restaurant, I was like they would get out of their cars, and I was like, please go somewhere else, please. Please, I know you parked here and you got out of your car. Just please walk over to like across the street or something. You're just using the parking lot as a place to park. Please. And like 9 times out of 10, they would walk into the building, and I'd just be like, I gotta talk to people, which is like, I accepted the job without really knowing what the host was. Like they were like, all right, you're gonna be a host, buddy. And I was like, okay, because I just wanted a job. I had no idea what that meant though, so I was kind of going into it blind. I feel like if I would have known, I probably wouldn't have chosen to do it, right? So anyway, so not only that, and also like if you don't seat like if you don't seat people in the waiter's zone, like if you mess it up, they kind of like fucks them over. Like it actually does, because like they're trying to make money, and they make money, and so if you don't give them a lot of people to sit, they don't make a lot of money, and it kind of fucks them over, and they're kind of wasting their time. And I was kind of like, and I was thinking about that. I was like, oh my god, bro, what if I fuck up and they're gonna get pissed at me, and they're gonna kick me out. They're gonna kick me out, and they're gonna kill my family, and it's gonna be horrible. And like in reality, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, they were all aware that I was new and I was probably gonna make mistakes, but I was anxious, man. I was worried. I was like, bro, I could literally ruin their lives. Actually, I really couldn't. It's really like not a big deal. But anyway, so yeah. So not only did like the whole point of knowing it was like the map, and I didn't know how to fucking use a map, I was also just kind of like, well, here's the thing. Um, so so like each zone of the restaurant, like there's like a group of chairs or like a group of seats that you're supposed to sit them at. And here's the thing: there's a list. There's a list of how, like, in order of who you're supposed to seat. There's a list of them in order on like which order you're supposed to seat them in. So like, you know, if they have a seat, so like, you know, if this waiter went, then you go to that waiter, then you seat someone in their zone, and you seat someone in their zone. And if they don't have enough spaces, then you just go to the next person, and you eventually, you know, it kind of stacks up, and that's kind of how you're supposed to do it, right? And that doesn't sound that bad. I was actually pretty confident that I could have gotten that done, right? Here's the thing, though. What they didn't tell you is they did tell me this. They were like, all right, listen, bro. To get the order, you gotta count who walks in first. So like whoever the order in which they come to work and clock in is the order in which they need to go. And I was like, got you. But here's the thing. Whenever I would get there, I'd get there like midday. There'd be no list, and the waiters are already there. So I don't know if they were expecting me to like go back in time and count when they got there then, but like I was kind of fucked. I was kind of sitting there like, okay, I get that I'm supposed to do that, but like I can't. I don't know the order they came in. They're already here. I wasn't here, and there would be no list for me. So I would just have to like. I just have to get help from another person. It would be so awkward, and they'd be like, "Well, you're just supposed to know," and I'm like, well, I don't know. But luckily on my first day working alone, I worked like 3 shifts with somebody else. Nice person. They really taught me very well. I was really, really happy with them. That was a great experience. And then I was on my own, I was screwed, man. I was so bad at it. And I'm pretty sure, I'm almost like 95% sure, like somebody showed up like to help me, and I'm 95% sure they did that because they saw that I was fucking up so bad. And the person who was working with me was like, "Huh, it's kind of weird that they got you working this job. I mean, you really, this is like your first job, and they got you working something like this. It's kind of complicated." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Anyways,